Alrighty, hi guys. So we are going to do a quick little story time in my car. This is about the time I almost got kidnapped. I should have got kidnapped. Let's just be honest. I should have got kidnapped for this. So I was probably 18, 19 years old. It was my first year of college. I had gotten out of basketball practice, so it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening around winter time. So it was snowing, it was cold. And at the time I drove a 1988 Ford truck. So I understood the problems that it had and all that fun stuff. So as I'm pulling out of my college to get on the road to go home, I see a guy directly across the street, and he has a vehicle like mine. And it's just in the middle of the road, and he is out there trying to push this truck. If you know anything about vehicles, the older model vehicles are like made of metal. Not like this fiberglass and aluminum. It's like metal, so heavy. So what did I do? I parked my truck on the side of the road. But keep in mind, at the time, I was like 100 pounds. Literally 100 pounds. I'm not joking. So I probably wasn't being able to do much. So I get out of my truck, go over to this random man, and I'm like, can I help you push your truck out of the way? And he was like, yeah, sure, thank you so much. So I pushed his truck out of the way, and I was like, well, will it not start? He was like, no, it'll start. I just don't have gas. And I was like, well, do you need to call somebody? And he was like, I don't have anybody around here to call. I'm not from around here. And I was like, oh, well, do you want to use my truck? I can take you somewhere. This is a grown man, 50, 60-year-old man. And he was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you so much. Let me get my gas cans. But I don't have any money. So you're going to have to take me to this recycling place because I got pop cans in the back of my truck. And I need to recycle them to get some cash. Sure, go ahead, throw them in the back. He throws his pop cans and his gas cans in the back of my truck, and he hops in my truck. I didn't start freaking out until he got into my truck, and I was like, what am I doing? So I was scared, but at that point in time, I couldn't tell the man to get out, right? No, couldn't do that. That would be probable cause for him to hit me or something. I don't know. So I was like, let me call my mom. She's expecting me to be home. My mom was over 2 hours away at this point. So I called my aunt and uncle who I was living with at the time. They didn't answer their cell phones. They didn't answer their home phone. They didn't answer their work phone. So I was basically just stranded here with this man. So I finally got a hold of my mom. And I was like, hey mom, I'm taking this man to get some gas in a gas can. And she was like, oh, well that's nice. Do you know who it is? Is it somebody from college? No, I don't know this person. Sorry. And she was like, what? And I was like, I don't know this person. But obviously I couldn't say that, so I was just like, no, not really. So she tells me to stay on the phone, act like I hung up, and just lay my phone down beside me in the console. So I do that. And this man's telling me his life story about his wife died and he moved from Ohio or somewhere to here, and that he had cancer and he got over cancer and he's just been struggling with money, all kinds of stuff. Oh, by the way, I don't know where this recycling place is. I've never been to it, never seen it. The way we're going, I had never been. So I'm driving blindly down this road, taking directions from an absolute complete stranger at the ripe age of 18. So, it's literally stupid. I'm 26. If I could go back, I would absolutely have never done that. I could have so much ended up on Dateline. So that's not the worst part yet. So we get to the recycling place. He jumps out. He gets his pop cans. He's like two little handbags full of pop cans. And he takes them around the back of this building. Not even in the entrance of this building. Just around the back of this building. And I pick up the phone and I'm talking to my mom. And I'm like, should I just leave? And she was like, I don't know. Maybe you should. And I was like, but then I'd feel awful because then I would leave this man stranded without a vehicle even. I would just leave him miles away from his vehicle. I can't do that. I would have been an awful person then. So she's like, just do whatever you feel is right. So I stayed. Here comes the man with his $5 or whatever. And looking back also, why didn't I just give this man some cash? I probably had some. Why didn't I just do that? Don't know. Never crossed my mind. So we go and we get to the gas station and he's like, honey, thank you so much. I'll be right back. So he grabs his 5-gallon gas can and then his 1-gallon gas can. He goes over, fills it up, comes back, and then he's like, can I put the gas cans up in the cab with me? Because I don't want them sloshing out in the back of your truck, in the tailgate part where it's open. It's not like it was a closed-in cab. It was open and the gas fumes would have just evaporated. And I was like, sure, that's fine, I understand. This man could have absolutely just blew me up. He could have lit a match. I probably had a cigarette lighter in my truck. He could have just lit a match, whatever, blew me to smithereens if this man wanted to. I don't know. So I get him back in my truck for the third time. This makes the third time this man has gotten in my vehicle at this point. I take him back to his truck, I drop him off, and he thanks me so much, tells me that I'm like an angel from above, because not many people would have done that them days, especially not a young girl like me. You're right, I should not have done that, sir. But I think if you're watching this for whatever reason, just thank you so much for not killing me. Genuinely, thank you for not killing me, because that is just an absolute wild thing of me to do, being 18, 100 pounds, and a blonde. I should have ended up on Dateline. I don't have a single clue. I know not every person is bad in the world, I know that, but, sorry, somebody was watching me record. Not everybody's a bad person, but there was just so many things that could have happened. I watch a ton of Dateline and a ton of crime stuff. That was the perfect opportunity. You hear of stuff like that happening all the time. I got lucky. I could have got kidnapped. I could have got R-worded. I could have got murdered. But I didn't. So, hope y'all enjoyed that story time of how I almost got kidnapped. Could have got kidnapped. All the above. Maybe okay, you know what? I don't want to have no more stories like that. But maybe I'll tell some more story times. I probably have a lot. So, hope y'all enjoyed this short story time.